All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Love. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Locke. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Bissett. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Love. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They go play action here on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. On second down, a run with Breida. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. From the gun, here's Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42.
22, check, Palmer. 22, check, Palmer. Silver. Hey, what? Hustle. Check, right, 54.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 38, Brissett, and he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Brissett sets to throw it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Devin Bush, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable second and 13.
Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Hey. 4 down. Go, Mike 51.
To throw is Brissett. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 13-yard line. Brissett now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's first and 10. On the draw play, Coleman. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Tevin Coleman, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus-yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Here's Breida. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Show it up. And 58's the mic. Well, 58's the mic.
Crawl.
Hey, alert 3.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As we know, they had the chance last week, Charles, to lock up the division. Couldn't do it. Now it all comes down to the final week of the season. But once again, they control their destiny.
And that's a good thing. But I wonder about mindset, because you mentioned they had a chance to lock it up last week, didn't. Are they bringing extra pressure to themselves now? Even though they control their own destiny with a win, now because they didn't get it done before, will they be even tighter as they approach this game?
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Throwing on second and 14. Brissett. He's going to air this thing out deep for 10. And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. Michael Thomas hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the...
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Titans. Jonnu Smith, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. On first down, here's Breida. And he's brought down. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll try to run with Breida. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Matt Breida with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz good on the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now Brissett. This one complete to Coleman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
To throw, Brissett. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. First down, Brissett. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I smell fear in that offense. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Looking long for Thomas. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Son, 50 between line, 54. Blue down, blue down.
Brissett on 3rd and 2. Got a man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Here we go. 15 set. 15. Hey, hold on. Get off the field.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Brissett now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run with Breida. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. They'll fake the handoff. Now Love. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Matt Breida with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 21. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
54. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Open man here is Conklin. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 43. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaugans get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike 51, we got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Brissett, that's caught. It's Coleman. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Brissett. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. A shotgun snap for Love. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He is going to find Hill here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. They run again with Breida. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Breida. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
At their own 26-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now Brissett on fourth down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. This is Breida. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On now is the Titans punter as he's on to kick it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. They're all through now in that game in Tampa. And the Ravens have wound up winning that affair. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes in the W.
Don't be scared of it. 51, Mike.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get...
He's back to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He was covered by Jackson.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's see what you got. Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on fourth down.
He was covered by Denzel Ward.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
It's a party now. It's a party now. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike.
Brissett to throw for it on 4th. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Check out. 390. Mike, come.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Tennessee, they will indeed finish over 500 at 9-7. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. I'm Brandon Gaudette.